Hello everyone, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's talk about No Man's Sky. I am running the PC version for this video, and this is for anyone who's interested in cutting through the hype, and the hate for that matter, and finding out how No Man's Sky is actually running on PC, on day one, on an average gaming rig. So, lots of crazy negative reviews have surfaced in the hours since the game's release. I just checked as of the moment of this recording, and they've gone up from mostly negative to mixed, which is good because that means that, well, initially the people who were very, very disappointed that the game was not everything they wanted it to be came and voiced their disappointment in the form of negative reviews right out of the gate. And then later in the day, as the hours have gone by, here's a ship coming in for landing. As the hours have gone by, you have started to see more positive reviews from the people who are taking the time to play the game and give their thoughts. And I've also noticed some of the negative reviews have been edited as well to, just compensate for the fact that, maybe they might have overreacted at first. But all that aside, people do have a right to their opinion, positive or negative. I'm not here to deliver a review or declare all the naysayers wrong or anything like that. But for those of us who don't own the game yet, seeing this outpouring of negative reviews, something that can be hard to avoid when a game is hyped beyond imagining, like this one was, begs a pretty simple question. How does the game actually run, and what's it like when Sean Murray is not showing it off on stage? Because that's all we've seen of No Man's Sky for the most part. So here's a 25-minute gameplay video. I'll describe what I'm doing, but the point is really for you to see for yourself how the game looks and how it runs. For those curious, and you can also find this information in the description below, I am running the game on an Intel i7 3.2 GHz CPU, which for the modern gaming rig is actually a little bit below average. 4 GHz is definitely becoming the standard, and maybe they've got some processors even faster than that. I haven't looked recently, but 3.2 is very average, which is good for this video. So that has 4 cores and 4 simulated for a total of 8 because it is an Intel i7. So it's a pretty good processor, but it's slow by modern standards. My graphics processor is an NVIDIA GTX 980 Ti manufactured by eVGA. I'm running 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I'm using the 64-bit Windows 10 Pro operating system. So that's the computer that you're seeing this on. It's pretty smooth so far, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to jump into this. I'm going to comment as we play through, but really, again, the point is for you to see what's going on here. I have just arrived in this system. I built my hyperdrive not too long ago, and this is a planet that I've never actually visited. So, tell you what, why don't we go down to the surface and take a look at it together, shall we? Okay, so apparently we can mine asteroids. Actually, I want to stop for a second because I haven't done this yet. Hey, awesome. Ooh, that's handy. Thamium has been really hard to find on planets, but if I can just blow up asteroids for it, then that'll make life super easy. That asteroid is a little farther away than I thought. Oh, it's beautiful. I've spent so much time looking for this resource planet side, which it exists planet side, but to actually find it out in space in vast quantities is awesome. Because we need this for hyperdrive fuel. We need it to make warp cells in order to be able to keep jumping between systems. Which I might get around to doing in this video, but again, this is not a full Let's Play, it's not a review, this is just showing how the game looks. So we're just going to do stuff. So as I said, we're going to go down and explore this planet together. Let's engage the... This isn't the pulse drive, but this is what happens when you hold down the sprint button. And you're in your spaceship. Oh, crap! Oh, okay. Sorry. That's actually the first time that's happened. I've gotten very close to asteroids, but I've never actually run into them before. You learn something every day. So, we're going to arrive in the atmosphere in about 15 seconds. Whoa! These asteroids are all really close to this planet. Really close. Alright, so we are now arriving in the atmosphere of this world. Give you a look at the horizon here. And let's go a little further down. This looks pretty barren. Doesn't look like there's going to be a lot going on here, but right now the planet's indigenous name, as you might say, we haven't renamed it yet, is, well, it went off the screen, but you saw it. We're going to go down this direction. Starting to see a little bit more color. Looks like it might be a toxic atmosphere, though, which is not good. I've got a suit which can help me with that, but your suit actually starts out with that. There's a structure. Okay. So what we're going to do... Alright, so a little bit of graphical chop there, as is to be expected, but otherwise smooth, right? This is a day one release. Oh, also, you might be wondering, what are my graphics settings, actually? Alright, so just save the game right there. I see some cacti. This is cool. So this is kind of a desert planet, but I do see some precipitation of some kind. Interesting. Alright, so graphics settings. Let me show you what those are. So you can... Oh, not options. Graphics. There we go. So I've got shadows down to medium. That's just a general performance tip for those of you who might not be familiar with it. Anytime you want a game to run better, if you want a game to run better, not better, then turn your shadows down. Just one setting from what the default is. If it doesn't help enough, try turning it down by 2 settings. Shadows take up a lot of processing power. The generation detail I've turned up to high so that we have as little pop-in, rather, as possible. And then the reflection quality is at medium as well, for similar reasons to shadows. I have texture detail set on high, and I have the max FPS set to 60. And as you can see, it's running pretty well. A lot of people were talking about some chop, and there is some chop from time to time, but there's chop in a lot of the games I play. One of the games I play on my channel is Subnautica. That's an early access game with kind of a similar science fiction motif to No Man's Sky. And it's got some chop too, you know, and this game has just been released, and I think that they can definitely work on stuff as things go forward. Is this supposed to be snow on the ground? It kind of looks like snow. Interesting. This is a desert planet, but maybe it's just like white sand. We're going to save right quick. Definitely a desert world. For those of you who are looking at the landscape wondering if it changes, one thing I haven't explored too much is whether there are different biomes on individual planets. I've never seen anything in No Man's Sky. Oh, this is cool. Never seen anything in No Man's Sky to indicate that that would be the case. I think that the planets are pretty much one biome, one look, kind of all the way over. It's just the terrain changes, there's different caves and things. And then there's oceans. Oh, this is reinforced. So we gotta blow this up. Okay, it is snow. I wasn't looking at the temperature display, but we're at negative 21.4 Celsius. So it's definitely snowy on this planet, but it's still kind of a desert-type world. Maybe there's a nuclear winter from one of those atmospheres. So what we're going to do... Well, I don't know. See, blowing this door open is probably going to piss that sentinel off. Yep. Combat unit, huh? So that probably means the larger style sentinels. There they are. Got some titanium. What's over here? I think there's another sentinel. Yeah. Awesome. All right, so I knocked that guy out before he managed to call reinforcements. Oh, cool. Plasma launcher grenades have wide impact craters. So he basically just dropped an upgrade for us. Alright, so there's no longer a sentinel nearby. I should be able to break in here without anyone getting in my way. Nope, they're back. Alright, well here's what we're going to do. We're just going to try and blast through this door. Not today. So I have a level 2 wanted level at the moment. But if these guys call reinforcements, I'm pretty sure it'll go up. Awesome. Alright. More new technology. Excellent. Actually, I think all of them that I've killed. Recoil stabilizer. That's awesome. I'm trying not to spend too much time on the details like that, because I know you want to see how the game actually looks in other ways. Interesting. Your standing with the Korvax has increased. Reload accelerant. Awesome. Oh, hey. Hey there. So Sentinels I don't think can come in here. If I can get around here. Alright. An automatic process has scrambled the output of the terminal. I can make out a few words, but the rest is lost in static. This could lead me to the Overseer's workflow and bring the facility. Or they could lead me to the Overseer's workflow and bring the facility back online. Okay. Not sure what that was getting at. I think I might have to look up more information on the language of this system's indigenous peoples. Alright, so the Sentinels are not going to leave me alone. Hey, we got a milestone. Probably killing bunches of Sentinels, I'm guessing. Yep.
Hostiles approaching. Warning. Sentinel drones activated.
Okay, so that thing's actually out of ammo. Gonna have to use my mining laser to take care of this. Alright, well that wasn't a whole lot. So let me take you back up so you can take a closer look at what it's like to fly around the atmosphere of a planet. Well, not just yet. Not enough fuel in the launch thruster, which means... Well, hang on. I might have what I need on me. Starship. Oh yeah, I've got what I need. Perfect. Is that so? Well, we're going to get out of your way before you can chase us any farther. Alright, so I'm going to climb a little bit so you can see a little bit more of this planet. For the most part, the way the controls are working is I don't have absolute control. I'm using the mouse to look around here. It's actually a really good control scheme for not using a gamepad or a joystick. So if you are a keyboard and mouse gamer, as many of us are on PC, and you want to just be able to control the game fluidly using keyboard and mouse, it actually works pretty well. Because I'm just looking around and moving around with the mouse and then using W to accelerate forward. I can also hold down Shift and get a nice little jump, which in atmosphere is not that fast. But, okay, this world is not particularly interesting. What we're going to do is head up and take a look at another one. Not that we'll never come back to this one, but... Oh, hey. Some ships have just arrived. We're going to take a look at another planet nearby. And I believe there was another planet somewhere nearby. Alright, there is a manufacturing facility. Pulse engine offline, insufficient fuel. Is that so?
Technology recharge.
Thankfully, I just blew up all those Thamium asteroids, so we should be good. Let's engage the pulse engine. That was weird. Somehow it pulled us closer to the planet. Maybe gravity did that? We're still moving pretty quickly. Alright, this planet that we're heading to over here doesn't look too great either. There's definitely, I mean, there's some quintillion planets in No Man's Sky. If you haven't looked at the actual number, it's insane. Okay, this looks like it's... This manufacturing facility looks like it's planet-side. So we're going to try and go down to it, because evidently there are new blueprints in manufacturing facilities. This is another fairly barren-looking planet.
Hostile scan detected.
Is that so? So that might mean someone is trying to provoke me, but I am... Alright, it looks like they might be chasing me, so we might be about to get into a dogfight here. So, for those of you who are curious what the actual game is like, what kind of a game is it, if you haven't really looked at the reviews and you just want to know, I mean, what's the point? A lot of people in their reviews and in their commentary have said, man, it's boring, there's not a lot to do. Well, I think there's probably a significant correlation, between the people who consider this game boring and the people who find survival or sandbox style games, particularly sandbox style games, boring in general. If you are not the kind of gamer who doesn't like having just a massive world that you'll never be able to fully explore to play around in, then of course you're going to find No Man's Sky boring. But if you like the idea, for instance, this is a planet that not only has no one else ever visited. This is actually kind of pretty too. This is like a Mars-like, slightly redder than Mars atmosphere. But not only has no one else ever visited this, I mean, yes, there's structures on here, but I'm talking about other players. But on top of that, no one else is likely to ever visit it. That's cool. You can still name stuff, and I'll show you that in just a second. You can name species that you find. You can name... What is this? Okay, there's some resources there. That's handy. Okay. So there is some fade-in of detail that comes with the game's procedural generation of stuff. Tell you what, let's go ahead and land. Because that looks like a new type of mineral. Alright, so this is a toxic planet. Poison rain, minimal sentinels, not a lot of plant life. So this is definitely very Mars-like. But, let's throw a scan down. You can see there's definitely some stuff nearby for us to look at. The manufacturing facility is right over there. So we're going to pay a visit to that in just a moment. But first... Oh wow, that looks deep. I don't want to go down there. Holy crap. That's one of the deepest caves I've seen yet. But it actually looks like it might not be a cave. It looks like it might just be a cavern here. There's definitely a This guy's not going to hold still long enough for me to scan him. Alright. There's a sentinel. Yeah, this is actually just a cavern with this overview here. So it goes all off in that direction. We're going to head back this way. See what this rock is really quick. There's some sentinels flying overhead somewhere. There they go. Larger scale sentinels. Now the mining beam probably needs to be recharged, so let's take care of that really quick. I just used some plutonium that I had in my inventory to take care of that. This is a giant pillar of aluminum. Holy crap. Is that so? Well, in that case, tell you what, let's go ahead and transfer some of this to the starship, especially the Hadrian. So, as I was saying a moment ago, you know, if you are not the type of gamer who really wants just a large sandbox experience where you can make upgrades to your equipment and change the gameplay for yourself, but for the most part, just explore a massive universe, then no, the game's probably not going to be very fun. Also, one thing I will say, as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not out to change anyone's minds about the game. I mean, if you change your mind watching this video and you decide you want to get it, great. It's part of the reason I wanted to make it, because I wanted to make sure that the game got a fair shake. It's made by an indie development studio, and they deserve every chance at, you know, just positive attention that they can get. But I do want to say about these reviews, when you are looking, especially at these early surges of reviews, again, I'm not here to deliver an opinion or to deliver my own review or say that the people who review the games are wrong. But one thing you have to keep in mind about reviews, especially on Steam, but just reviews that are small and aggregated like that, where it's just a bunch of thumbs down thrown together, they're not actually reviews, right? They're just people expressing their positivity or their negativity towards the game. That's not a review, and yet they're labeled reviews, and they, you know, they become you know, accepted as reviews, but they're not reviews. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking, oh man, the user reviews on No Man's Sky are just, they're looking terrible. You know, I'm not sure I want to play this. Well, are the reviews terrible, or are just the initial reactions, especially from people who, whoa, what's happening here? Initial reactions from people, especially those who really had their hopes up. Oh, is it because we're flying near something else? Hang on, what's going on here? Let's flip over. So yes, is it because the reviews are bad, or just because there are a bunch of mixed initial reactions from people? Reviews are a very different thing. Reviews are much more objective when they're done right. Okay. Now it's looking like it's letting me approach, which is good. So there is definitely some chop and some texture pop in and such. Well, not so much texture pop in, but detail pop in. Ah, I saw some fauna. Let's have a look. Actually, before we have a look,
Technology recharge.
so this is the manufacturing facility. Looks like it's getting dark. Yes, here's some fauna. Oh, hi. Wow. Iron-based life form. Let's see if we can take a closer look at the other one. I'm not meaning to shoot it, actually. I was just trying to get a good look. Ah, now he's coming at me. I was just trying to scan you. I was trying to find out what you're called. Okay, good. I can still analyze the corpse. Alright, so we're going to take a look at naming stuff in just a second, but I definitely want to take a look into this. Aw, really? Alright, so this is another place that we've got to blast open. Oh, we're standing on a bed of Hadrian, which is a mineable resource. There's a sentinel flying overhead, too. Tell you what. I'm going to save really quick, and then I'm actually going to get back in my ship, and we're going to head back up above the planet. We're going to look at the naming interface and possibly see if there's any other worlds to experience here. I also want to show you the warp interface really quick before I end the video. Just because I've already blasted through one door of this video, I don't want to do too much repetition. So, we've seen a couple of planets. As you can see, it shows you how far you have to go to arrive. And in we go. There we go. Now, that planet right there, I think that's the one I already visited. I think that's the cold one. I can tell. Yeah, actually, I do believe that's the cold one. We'll be able to tell in just a moment when we leave the atmosphere.
Hostile ships approaching.
Okay, might be time to dogfight. Hey, guys. So I am fighting using the, okay, shields are down, that's not good.
Critical damage taken.
Uh-oh. Alright, can't get away. Gonna have to knock this guy out. Oh, he's coming right at me. Stupid mistake. Got him.
Hostile ships defeated.
Awesome. So that's dogfighting in No Man's Sky. Was not expecting that. Alright, we are unfortunately rather wounded. So let's see if we can head for that space station. Milestone accomplished. I'm guessing I killed some ships in a dogfight? Thanks! Actually, I destroyed two. So we're going to head back to this starbase. But first, we're going to take a look at the discovery menu. So this is the planet we were just on, I believe. Yeah, this is the first one we visited. Now, if I wanted to, which I'm going to do, I'm going to call this one Ares, which is, of course, the
Units received.
Greek name for Mars. And now we're going to head back to the space station. So when you name stuff, it gets uploaded automatically, and that item is forever named what you named it because you discovered it, which is pretty cool. Whether it's a species or a planet, doesn't matter. All right, so we've arrived back at the space station. Now we're going to see if we can get in here and get some repairs, because we need them. And I'm definitely going to do the repair before I end the video here, because it's good to see what the interior of these stations look like. So this is the same one I took off from. If I didn't mention it earlier in the video, I'm definitely using the ship that you get with the pre-order bonus, which looks oddly like certain other ships from certain other popular science fiction. At least the front end does. All right, so I'm gonna head in here. I wore myself out sprinting. Now I think this guy can repair my ship. Alright, well, can't repair my ship. So here's the galactic trade interface. I can use that to sell stuff that I found. I don't see anything about ship repair, oddly enough. So that's something I'm going to have to figure out on my own. As far as... oh, need an Atlas pass for that door. So that's something I'll have to figure out on my own after the video. But that is No Man's Sky. As you can see, there is a lot to do. A lot of people have pointed out in reviews that the things that you can do are generally the same everywhere, no matter how far you go, which is true, but it's a sandbox game. That's the point. The point is that you're discovering new things and new locations, and you're going places where no one has ever gone before, which I think is pretty great. Whether or not that amounts to a game that I will play for hours upon hours upon hours, we'll have to see. But on the surface, just as we all hope for, I, for one, think that the game has a lot of potential, having actually played it for several hours myself, and now also having done this video for you guys. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this perspective on No Man's Sky, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome, and I hope you'll look around. For those wondering what other types of videos I produce, I play games that tell stories. You'll find a healthy mix of historical strategy and grand strategy, along with simulation, science fiction, obviously, and definitely some survival content too along the way. Anything with emergent and dynamic storytelling, even if, or especially if, the story is not told outright but is shown as the game unfolds, is going to be game for my channel. No pun intended. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in a bit.